freshest in the place. Running laps with my vibe and you can't keep the pace. Head to toe while I'm dripping in style. I'm fly with $1 million smile. Cannot be me, never could you see me. When you this fresh, everybody wanna greet me. Check the clock, now I check my wrist. Ice so bright, the whole room stay lit. I know you wanna match my style. You haven't seen someone like me in a while. It looks easy, I make it look easy. Born to be fly, know you really believe me.
Walking through the neighborhood, and I had a random thought. The first thought is, I hate fucking mopeds. Walking through the neighborhood on lunch pickup, and I had a random wild thought. You know, when you talk to people who create content, a lot of people will tell you that one of the weirdest things for them to get used to is learning how to shoot in public. I think I just came up with, well, I don't know if I came up with it, but I think there's a random hack for this that you might not think about. Here's my rather non-scientific thought. If you struggle with recording in public, maybe one of the things that you can do in order to make this more comfortable for you is to go in a place where there are more likely to be other people filming in public. And I thought of this because of a recent trip to NAB. We're at a conference where there are a lot of people who are in the productions, a lot of people who create, and pretty much every other person had a camera. If you happen to, like I do, live somewhere that has, tourist attractions, that's a place where you're liable to see people filming in public. So if I were to leave my neighborhood and go 3-4 miles down the road and go into the center of Waikiki, there will be a whole bunch of other people walking around with a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 or an iPhone or something of that nature. As we're coming up upon carnival season, fair season, whatever you call it in your neighborhood, you're also more likely to find people who have a camera in their hand and they're out in public shooting content. As we get to holiday seasons, right? 4th of July is coming up soon. Actually, Memorial Day, even before that, Easter. You might even find a place where there'll be a bunch of people congregated. If you are a person that still struggles with being outside and filming in public, put yourself in a place where you're not the oddball. Put yourself in a place where everybody is filming. And I just think to myself, why didn't I think of that earlier? I never even heard anybody say this before. I'm sure I'm not the first, but I've never heard anybody else mention it. And so I just thought I would be the one to mention it. And I realized, after hanging out with Lou, Paul, Jill, AT at NAB, we all just whipped out our cameras whenever and started shooting. There was no second thought of where it is. I think I'm the most wishy-washy at home because I know so many people walking around my neighborhood or even anywhere in the street in Hawaii just because of what I used to do, being a DJ and being a radio personality, TV shows, things like that. A lot of people just know me. So I'm just always thinking one of my friends is going to randomly come and harass me in the video, which, funny enough, never happens. That's what's so dumb. We think things in our head that have nothing to do with reality. I was at Pro Camera Hawaii today, picking up the Canon PowerShot V1, videos to come. And funny thing, a young gentleman came in. He's getting ready to get into, making films and things like that. And we were going over the typical conversation, Nikon, Sony, Canon, whatever. Hey, starting to rain. If you hear that extra noise, that's the rain tripping on this umbrella. And one of the things that came up, which I thought is kind of funny, is so many people, when they start looking at this, they start talking about, the ability to shoot in low light. And I asked him, what is your content primarily going to be about? And after he said, I'm like, you're kind of always going to be in the bright light sunshine of Hawaii. You're rarely going to use the low light element. And while nowadays, it used to be that Sony was the best at this, nowadays, so many cameras can do relatively decent in low light, including this Osmo Pocket 3. Putting that low light as your primary decision when you're not shooting at night, you're normally going to be shooting in the daytime with sun, or like us in our studio with artificial light. It's like we prepare for these features that we think that we're going to use and are not even primary. So it causes us to make decisions that may not necessarily be the best for us because we think of a feature for that one thing I might use one day. Right? I know a lot of conversations goes into, looking for things with image stabilization, but you're going to do locked off tripod videos. A lot of people talk about roll and shutter, but you're doing locked off tripod videos. So like, I wouldn't worry about buying a camera for that just in case. That's the one where you need that case and you go out and rent the camera. And that had nothing to do with filming in public, but it just goes to show to connect those two back together. It's the idea of thinking of stuff and doing things under the guise of what might happen, and it's probably not going to happen. Yeah. So like, I would never shoot out in the streets in Honolulu because I know people and they might bother me. And now I've shot, was going to say hundreds, but that's a lie. 25s of videos out in the streets in my neighborhood, and nobody says anything, or they just wave from afar and I give them a little nod to acknowledge that I see them. It's just kind of funny, but you know what I say? I don't know who needed to hear this, but if it was you, let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, I guess specifically answer the question, what is it that stops you from filming in public? Like, are you still struggling with it? And if you have any tips or techniques to get over it, please share that with the community. Yeah, it's just a funny thought that came to my head. So I thought I'd make a video about it because I'm in funny thought video mode today. And why not? Why not? All right, so now it's time to go grab a sandwich and get my lunch on, go back to the studio and crack open this PowerShot V1. Like, I'm super excited about this camera because I haven't messed with Canons in a while. And the old G7 was like the hot snot back in the day. So I'm super curious. So look forward to that. That content's coming up on the channel soon. If you like this video, press the like button, press the subscribe button, read the notification bell. And right about now, the algorithm is going to show you another video I think you should watch. And I agree with him.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk.